Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news at 6 where we get to the day's top developing stories. Today, of course, our prime focus on UP, that is voting in the first phase of elections. Let's get to the headlines first. Over 50% of turnout in the first phase of polling in Uttar Pradesh. Parties keep a close watch on the polls as the day will set the tone for the next 6 phases. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses 2 rallies in 2 states. In UP, he takes aim at the SP Congress alliance and talks about the centre schemes for the poor in Uttarakhand. Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi release the common minimum program for the alliance. In UP, announce a slew of SOPs mainly aimed at youth and farmers. And the political drama in Tamil Nadu intensifies. State Education Minister and 2 MPs announce support for O. Pannirselvam, even as VK Sasikala writes to the governor. Uttar Pradesh witnessed its first phase of polling in 73 assembly constituencies on Saturday. Till 4 p.m., 54% of the electorate had cast their ballots. The heat is, of course, on the BJP, which swept the region in the 2014 Lok Sabha elections, but now faces a test of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governance over the last almost 3 years now. Opponents like Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav's Samajwadi Party and its alliance partner Congress and Mayawati's BSP are leaving no stone unturned to make their way to the top. Today, of course, is a crucial phase indeed, with the most amount of majority of the voters to be putting in their votes today. In various places, of course, voting has been shut down now. However, what we are getting to know at the moment at least is that it's over 50% till about 4 p.m. in various parts of western UP, where, of course, the voting took place today. Our correspondents, of course, are tracking developments across UP, especially the regions where today the ballots have been cast. We've got Akhilesh Suman joining us live from Meerut and also Vishal Daya joining us live from Agra. Akhilesh, if I could come to you first, give us a sense of what you see around you. Is there a sense of excitement, something that is going to usher in a different kind of a change in UP? Akhilesh, if you can hear me, if you could give me a sense of the kind of vibe that you're feeling around you. We've been waiting for these elections and we've seen a lot of drama that has been unfolding in the past few months, especially in regard to the Samajwadi Party. However, with the kind of election rallies that we've been seeing from all parties, including the BJP, what is the sense that you're getting around you? Is there a sense of excitement that the elections have finally begun? And what is the sense you're getting from Meerut? We seem to have a problem with the link there. We're trying to establish that contact with Akhilesh Suman, who's of course joining us live from Meerut. Like we said, our reporters of course have been going across UP for months, in fact, trying to get us a sense of really what these elections mean for each and every voter there, especially for each and every party. We do know that the BJP, ever since that landslide victory that it saw in 2014 in the Lok Sabha elections, they are of course banking heavily upon those same seats. However, there's a large possibility that they may not be able to garner that many votes. But that's, of course, something that we'll be seeing on the 11th of March. But Akhilesh Suman, I believe, is joining us. We've been able to establish a contact with him. Akhilesh ji, an update that we can get from you from Meerut.
Okay, it is very interesting situation in this part of the western UP because this is a basically area dominated by Jats and also by Muslims. And you see that I am feeling everywhere there is strong polarization among the Jats and also among the Muslims. So it will be very interesting to see that how other castes, how other communities are going to vote and how they have voted, because see, this has been commonly very sensitive area also, and this is also bastion of agriculturists. They have a problem in agriculture, they have problem in employment, and also they have the communal, has been communal clashes in last years. So you can understand that this is a situation when the communities are voting, though in the name of development, but they have their own parties of choice, they have their own definition of development. And that is why this area is going to become very decisive in getting polarized in another phase of upcoming election in UP. You know, this is some of the people who are telling that, see, we wanted somehow or other, we wanted that BJP should come to power in this area. But BJP has also given up its own future because of choosing wrong candidates in some of the constituencies. So it is very interesting between BJP, RLD and Samajwadi Party Congress alliance, and it will be really very interesting to see that how it turns up in the coming days.
Absolutely. All right. Akhilesh, thanks so much for joining us, giving us an update from Meerut. If I could turn across now to Vishal Daya, who's of course joining us from Agra. It has been in news, especially recently, because of that big joint rally that we saw between Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi. One of the first rallies, in fact, the second rally, in fact, it was after they announced their alliance in Uttar Pradesh. I believe Vishal Yadav is with, Vishal Daya, I'm sorry, is with us. Vishal, if you can hear me, give me a sense of what you feel around you in Agra. We do know that this particular phase is one which is very crucial for both the BSP and the BJP.
Well, yes, indeed, it is a crucial phase for BSP, BJP, and specifically the Samajwadi Party and Congress combined as well, because if you look at the results of the 2012 assembly polls in these 73 seats, then the BSP had 24 seats, the Samajwadi Party had 24 seats, the BJP had almost a dozen seats, and the Congress could manage only 4 to 5 seats. So clearly, this is one phase wherein everybody, all these three players would want, an upper hand. That would give them an advantage for the rest of the phases, and specifically these 73 seats are very crucial for all these three players, because whosoever manages to get at least 2 dozen seats out of these 73 will have a upper hand in the rest of the areas surrounding the western Uttar Pradesh, and those are at least 50 to 60 seats which will go to polls in the next phase, and some of them in the third phase as well. So clearly this was a very interesting battle, and this battle has been made more interesting, Tracy, by the voter turnout, because the previous figures for these 73 seats was 59% the overall voter percentage in 2012. If you look at Agra specifically, it was 61% in 2012, and the numbers which we are getting right now, and mind you, there are long queues in the rural areas. We are right now in the Agra city, wherein some of the polling booths have been closed now because there were no voters left. But in the rural areas, there were long queues of voters at 5 p.m. when the polling came to an end, and all of them have been allowed to cast their vote. So final figures will be coming in around 6:30 p.m. But the guesstimate figures which we have right now is somewhere around 57%, which was the figure in Agra, and around 56 to 57% in Mathura as well. So clearly, that particular poll percentage of 59% or 61% in Agra is something which is quite likely that will be surpassed by the time the final figures come in. So voters have been very enthusiastic. They've turned up in huge numbers, and given the different poll arithmetic, the election arithmetic this time around, the results are also going to be really interesting.
Absolutely. We'll leave it there for now. Vishal Daya, thanks so much for joining us with those details. They're coming in from Agra at the moment. And in fact, election, the first phase, of course, in UP going on. However, the rallies haven't stopped, because Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday addressed various rallies in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. In his speech in Badaयूं district of Uttar Pradesh, the PM took a shot at both the ruling Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party on the issue of development. And in Uttarakhand, Modi listed a number of schemes that his party has introduced for the welfare of the people. Take a look.
बारी है आप।
On a day when Uttar Pradesh is voting in the first phase of polls, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a Vijay Shankhnad rally in Samajwadi Party's turf, Badaयूं. Addressing a jam-packed rally, he launched a scathing attack on the SP Congress alliance, alleging that Akhilesh Yadav had plunged the future of the state's youth into darkness. Along with the SP, the PM also targeted the Bahujan Samaj Party for lack of development in the state.
आज मैं बदायूं जिले में आया हूं तो मैं कहना चाहता हूं 18,000 गांवों में जरा सपा बसपा के लोग जवाब दें, क्या ये आपका दायित्व नहीं था इन गांवों में बिजली पहुंचाना? कांग्रेस का दायित्व नहीं था क्या? नहीं किया उन्होंने। अकेले उत्तर प्रदेश में 1500 गांव ऐसे निकले जहां पर कभी बिजली का खंभा तक नहीं लगा था।
Badaयूं is scheduled to go to polls in the second phase on February 15th. After UP, the PM also addressed a public gathering in poll-bound Uttarakhand's Rudrapur district. In his speech there, Modi said that politicians and bureaucrats are the real people who have looted the country. He also asserted that development is the only thing that can take Uttarakhand to greater heights.
आर्थिक विकास की ये महत्वपूर्ण ऊर्जा भूमि है और इसलिए भारत सरकार इस पूरे क्षेत्र को बल देना चाहती है, अलग अलग नीतियों के द्वारा बल देना चाहती है, व्यवस्थाओं के द्वारा बल देना चाहती है, ताकि यहां का औद्योगिक जीवन इतना फले फूले कि आसपास के सभी इलाकों में लोगों को रोजगार देने का कारण बन जाए और एक नई ऊंचाइयों पर पहुंच जाए। ये सपना देकर के हम चल रहे हैं।
The Prime Minister also congratulated the scientists for successfully testing a missile that can destroy other missiles 50 km up in the air. Uttarakhand will go to polls on February 15th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav too released the Common Minimum Program of the Samajwadi Party Congress Alliance at a joint press conference in Lucknow. The two leaders also attacked the Prime Minister for his remarks against the Congress Party and former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh.
As Uttar Pradesh voted in the first phase of assembly elections, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav addressed a joint press conference in capital Lucknow, exuding confidence in the success of their alliance. The two leaders released a 10-point common minimum program which their alliance will work on if voted to power. It includes distribution of free smartphones to the youth, employment guarantee through skill development to 20 lakh youth, loan waivers to farmers, cheap power and proper remuneration for crops, among others.
ये जो 10 बिंदु हैं, इसके साथ साथ जो समाजवादी पार्टी और कांग्रेस मिलकर के काम करेगी, कम से कम जनता को इस बात का भरोसा है कि जो बात जनता के बीच में रखी जाती है, सरकार बनने के बाद उन चीजों को पूरा किया जाता है। कम से कम समाजवादी लोग जो बात करते हैं उसको जमीन पर भी उतारते हैं। कई बार लोग मन की बात करते हैं लेकिन काम की बात नहीं करते। दो युवाओं को कांग्रेस और समाजवादी पार्टी को साथ साथ आने का काम हुआ है। ये कुनबों का गठबंधन तो उन्हें लग सकता है, लेकिन दो युवाओं का गठबंधन है।
हमने ये 10 जो पॉइंट्स रखे हैं, ये उत्तर प्रदेश के डेवलपमेंट की फाउंडेशन है, नींव बन सकती है। मगर हमारी जो सरकार बनेगी इससे आगे जाएगी। हमारी कोशिश होगी कि उत्तर प्रदेश में सबकी सरकार बने। उत्तर प्रदेश को ट्रांसफॉर्म करेंगे। वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट की सोच, हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट की जो स्ट्रेंथ है उसको हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे, निकालेंगे और उससे उत्तर प्रदेश को बनाएंगे।
Attacking Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his raincoat in the bathroom bob at former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Gandhi also said that instead of doing his job, the Prime Minister was more interested in peeping into other people's bathrooms.
जन्म पत्री पढ़नी अच्छी लगती है, गूगल सर्च करना अच्छा लगता है और लोगों के बाथरूम में झांकना अच्छा लगता है। वो चीजें वो अपने फ्री टाइम में करें, शाम को करें, मगर मेन प्रधानमंत्री का काम होता है रोजगार का सवाल, सिक्योरिटी का सवाल, किसानों का सवाल। इन सब सवालों में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी फेल हैं।
Rahul Gandhi also took a jibe at the Prime Minister's remarks made in an election rally in Haridwar on Friday, where he launched a personal attack on Rahul Gandhi.
कांग्रेस और समाजवादी पार्टी की सरकार आने वाली है। इस रिजल्ट से प्रधानमंत्री को जबरदस्त झटका पड़ेगा, उनकी क्रेडिबिलिटी पे बहुत बड़ा सवाल उठेगा, इसलिए वो घबरा रहे हैं और इसीलिए वो ये चीजें कह रहे हैं। जो भी कांग्रेस पार्टी के बारे में वो निकालना चाहते हैं, निकालिए, करिए। आप प्रधानमंत्री हैं, 2.5 साल से हैं, जन्मपत्री निकालिए।
The two leaders also promised to provide 1,000 rupee monthly pension to 1 crore poor families and one-time food at 10 rupees to the urban poor, 33% reservation to women in government jobs and 50% reservation in panchayat and local body elections. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav on Saturday addressed his first election rally in Etawah. His brother Shipal Yadav is a candidate from the Jaswant Nagar Assembly constituency in the district. In the 30-minute speech, he assured the crowd that the Samajwadi Party will fulfill all promises made to the people. This was Mulayam's first rally after a number of flip-flops as to whether he would campaign for the party following the family feud. Shipal Yadav, after filing his nomination in Jaswant Nagar, had announced that he would form a new party after the 11th of March when the election results are declared. Jaswant Nagar constituency will go to polls in the third phase on the 19th of February.
समाजवादी पार्टी में जो वादे किए हैं, एक बात हिंदुस्तान में यही पार्टी है कि जो वादा करती है वो पूरा करती है। लेकिन उसके बाद भी जब मैं युवा और किसानों का कर्जा माफ किया, किसानों की जमीन नीलाम नहीं हो सकती है, चाहे भूमिका का कर्जा हो, चाहे किसी का कर्जा हो, चाहे निजी क्षेत्र में किसी ने कर्जा दिया हो, लेकिन अब जमीन नीलाम नहीं हो सकती है। ये कानून हमने बनाया।
And talking about more rallies, UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav also addressed a rally in Moradabad where he highlighted the achievements of his government. The Chief Minister said that he will develop the state further if elected back to power, adding that his government was committed to creating more jobs for the youth. In another rally in Rampur, he attacked the Prime Minister on demonetization, saying that people were pushed into trouble for no good.
जब हमने इतना काम कर लिया और जो कुछ सीखना था वो सब सीख लिया, राजनीति का टेढ़ा मेढ़ा रास्ता भी समझ लिया, अब अगर मौका दोगे तो इससे ज्यादा काम करने का नाम समाजवादी है। उत्तर प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, उत्तर प्रदेश की खुशहाली के लिए, उत्तर प्रदेश की तरक्की के लिए और हिंदू मुसलमान सिख ईसाई को साथ जोड़ करके हर वर्ग के लोगों को अगर चाहते हैं कि आप खुशहाल बना लें, मैं समझता हूँ समाजवादी पार्टी से बेहतर कोई पार्टी।
And Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi also attacked the Prime Minister over demonetization at a rally in Chandosi. He alleged that the government's intention for demonetization was never to get back black money. Instead, it was to help businessmen get more money into the banks. He also said that the Prime Minister did not stand up to his promise of providing employment to the youth.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी चाहते हैं कि आपका पैसा बैंक में फंसा रहे, आपका पैसा उन 50 परिवारों के प्राइवेट हवाई जहाज को चलाएगा, आपका पैसा उन 50 परिवारों के घर में जाए, घर में लगेगा, मार्बल की फ्लोरिंग होगी, आपका पैसा बाहर जाएगा। हम ऐसी सरकार नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं, हम चाहते हैं उत्तर प्रदेश को बदलना।
All right, with that, we'll take a quick break here. More news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
I'm Amritan Shiva and you're watching Law of the Land. As a starting point, the concept of RPSF is very good and I'm very strongly supportive of it.
It has not been done in a manner other issues have been dealt with.
Bill is a significant development from the government.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. On to another one of our big national stories. And Tamil Nadu's caretaker Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam got a shot in the arm on Saturday as two AIADMK Lok Sabha MPs and a state minister joined his camp. On the other side, VK Sasikala has requested the governor for a meeting to parade the MLAs supporting her. Meanwhile, the police also sprung into action on Saturday to probe allegations that over 100 MLAs were being held captive in a luxury resort in Chennai by the Sasikala camp.
AIADMK MPs from Namakkal and Krishnagiri, PR Sundaram and K. Ashok Kumar have extended support to O. Pannirselvam, strengthening the caretaker Chief Minister's banner of revolt against AIADMK General Secretary V.K. Shashikala. The state's School Education Minister K. Pandeyarajan also joined the Pannirselvam camp.
60 days of great governance given by this AIADMK government led by Mr. O. Pannirselvam, which has swayed the masses in the favor of AIADMK and almost to the same level as what Purochit Televi Amma had left behind. And from there you had the spectacle of the last 7 days, which is a leadership transition past the huge groundswell of support on behalf of Mr. O. Pannirselvam in the last 7 days, where every MLA is today making an assessment under whose leadership he can go out and seek votes.
With this, the rarely seen intra-party political tussle has become more intriguing. O. Pannirselvam has in the past alleged that he was forced to step down as Chief Minister to make way for Shashikala. Meanwhile, with the opposing camp getting stronger, Shashikala on Saturday sought an appointment with Governor Vidyasagar Rao to parade MLAs supporting her before him. In a letter to the governor, Shashikala hoped Rao would act immediately to save the sovereignty of the constitution, democracy and the interest of Tamil Nadu.
Majority MLAs supported our Chinnamma, and Chinnamma has been elected as the party leader of AIADMK Assembly Party. It is clear that the list of MLAs have been given to the governor. Then the governor has to take decision. Governor will definitely call our Chinnamma to take oath. That's all.
Police also sprung into action to probe allegations that over 100 MLAs were being held captive at a luxury resort outside the city by the Shashikala camp. An inquiry has been ordered and all 137 Chennai police stations have been asked to check and verify the identities of guests staying at Golden Bay Resort, about 80 kilometers from Chennai. The police action in Chennai follows a complaint by some MLAs that they were being threatened. What seems to have cleared the pitch for the succession battle in Tamil Nadu is the state's tradition of hero worship. With the shadow of Jayalalitha still looming large, the contestants for the post will have to depend on her memory to acquire legitimacy. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's get you more updates from across the country and nationwide. India successfully test-fired its interceptor missile off the Odisha coast. The mission, termed as PDV mission, is for engaging the targets in the exoatmosphere region at an altitude above 50 kilometers of Earth's atmosphere. The target was developed for mimicking a hostile ballistic missile approaching from more than 2,000 kilometers away and was launched from a ship anchored in the Bay of Bengal. The missile was developed by the Defence Research and Development Organization. Supreme Court has imposed a fine of 10 lakh rupees on RJD MLA Ravinder Singh for challenging a Patna High Court order dismissing his plea, which questioned the veracity of an article published in a vernacular magazine way back in 1994. The apex court came down heavily on the lawmaker, saying that being a representative of the people, he was wasting crucial judicial time by filing a frivolous litigation. A bench headed by Chief Justice J.S. Khear said that it failed to understand what prompted Ravinder Singh to file the petition before the High Court in 2015 with respect to an article published 23 years ago. The government today approved the proposal for a single entrance exam for engineering and architecture at the undergraduate level from 2018. This will be on the lines of the National Eligibility and Entrance Test for medical colleges. The HRD Ministry has asked the All India Council for Technical Education to issue a suitable regulation for the implementation of the proposal from the academic year 2018-19. However, the tests shall be conducted multiple times a year to bring uniformity in academic standards and reduce the influence of donations. A minor fire today broke out at the Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital in Parel. No one is reportedly injured in the incident. The fire was confined to the wiring and electric installation of the basement area of the hospital building. The cause and the extent of damage is still being assessed. International news: and a powerful earthquake struck the island of Mindanao in the southern Philippines late last night. At least 6 people have been killed and over 100 others are injured. The earthquake, measuring 6.7 on the Richter scale, occurred at a depth of 10 kilometers, and the epicenter was about 13 kilometers east of the city of Surigao. The city is reportedly facing power cut and several structures have been badly damaged. Surigao's airport has also been closed due to cracks in the runway. However, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has clarified that there is no tsunami threat from the earthquake. With that, let's get you more international news updates in Global Buzz. The US today blocked the appointment of former Palestinian Prime Minister Salam Fayyad to be the new UN envoy to Libya. The US Ambassador Nikki Haley said that the Trump administration was disappointed to see that UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres had informed the Security Council this week of his intention to name Fayyad to lead the UN support mission in Libya and help broker talks on a faltering political deal. At least 13 people were killed and over 20 injured when a bus and a van carrying gas cylinders collided in Bangladesh's Faridpur district. The accident took place on a highway connecting Dhaka and Khulna town on Friday night, but the fire has now been brought under control. Residents in Australia's New South Wales state have been urged not to cook or watch television to save power as a scorching heat wave moved from the desert interior to the coast. The state's Energy Minister Don Harwin asked residents to consider reducing their energy usage after work. The heat is forecast to continue through the weekend before things cool off early next week. And now, cricket and Bangladesh skipper Mushfiqur Rahim and youngster Mehdi Hassan led the team's fight back on day 3 of the Hyderabad Test. The batsmen had an unbeaten 87-run partnership for the 7th wicket as visitors finished the day on 322 for the loss of 6 wickets in their first innings. Earlier, India began the day on a promising note by taking 3 early wickets, with Bangladesh being reduced to 109 for 4. However, a half-century from Shakib Al Hasan steadied the visitors' inning as they ended the day 365 runs behind India's first innings totals of 687 for 6.
Unless he's got bad on it, he is. There's that flighted ball.
And that's all we have for you on the news at 6. Have a great evening.